I don't want you here, Sophie. You're a disgrace. That's what my father said. Into a microphone. In front of 72 guests at the dinner for his farewell. And then he pointed to the exit. Before you hear what my husband did with this envelope, take a second, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who has been underestimated before. So, back to the moment that ruined me. Everyone was clapping for Dad. He had just finished his speech about his legacy, about how proud he was of his children. But when he came to me, he paused, honically demarcated, and said, "Some people in this family are wasting their potential. They chase after stupid dreams and end up empty-handed." I could feel everyone's eyes on me. My sister Julia giggled. My mother was just sipping her wine and I was sitting there. My heart was pounding to the throat, trying to hold back the tears. The fact that he exposed me without mentioning my name only made it worse, because everyone knew it. They all thought I had failed. If they had dropped out of law school, they would have opened a nice little business that they thought had gone broke. No one knew the truth because I didn't let anyone get close enough to me to see it. But what my father did next crossed every line. He went to my table, knocked on his glass and said, "Sophie, it's time for you to leave. Tonight is about real success, laughter. Real laughter from the family, from old friends," and at that moment something broke in me. I got up. My husband Eisen slowly reached into his jacket pocket, calmly, and handed me the envelope. He was thick, heavy, sealed with a golden sticker. My father frowned. "What is this supposed to be?" "Another one of your failed ideas," he honed. But Eisen did not flinch. He only said one sentence. Calm, cold, and frightening, "Open it." In front of all the people, and there met the real one. Silence the room. My father tore open the envelope with a sarcastic grin, as if he was ready to humiliate me again. But the moment he pulled out the first page, his hands froze, his lips parted, and then his face turned pale. He tried to continue reading, but his eyes darted back and forth, as if looking for a way to escape. A second before, he was the king of the evening. Now he looked as if he had seen a ghost. What's this?" he stuttered. I took a step forward. My voice no longer trembled. "These are the takeover papers, Dad. Your gift for retirement. The company you praised in your speech for 20 minutes. Horizon Logistics. The one you called a gold mine for the future. She's mine now." In the room, it became dead. Julia dropped her champagne glass. My mother choked on her drink. Eisen pushed the second document across the table. "Here is the full transfer of ownership. Sophie's company bought her out last week. Quietly, completely legal, completely binding." My father stared at the signatures, mine, the former CEO's, and his own, of a deal he had arranged with, not knowing who was behind it. "You bought them," he whispered, as if it would physically hurt him to pronounce it. "Correction," I said, firmly and calmly. "I built the company that bought it, the ones you all called a side project, the ones you scoffed at when I dropped out of law school." Julia finally got in the way. "Wait, so you're rich now?" "Really rich." I turned to her. "I didn't come here to show off, Julia. I came because a part of me hoped he would be proud. But this is obviously not in his nature. You could feel the change. Just a few minutes ago I was the disgrace, the dropout, the disappointment. But now they looked at me as if they didn't know who I was." And then Eisen got up. He pulled out his phone, typed a couple of times, and threw a live feed at the projector. It was an elegant high-rise building, our new headquarters, and on top of it, a luminous sign. Sophie Grace Enterprises' horrified gasp filled the room, and just as people were starting to process it, Eisen added something else. "By the way, this scholarship fund that your D promised to sponsor for underprivileged students." He paused, looked directly at my father. "She has been quietly funding him for 3 years. In your name." Now the whole room turned against him. "You never told us she was the donor. I thought you had her the whole time. You allowed us to mock her." My dad looked like he was going to collapse. And then he said something that no one had seen coming. "Get out, everybody out of here." The room exploded in confused whispers. "Wait, is he serious? He's throwing us out now. What's wrong with him?" But my father's voice cut the noise out of my house. "Every single one of you, and you," he was pointing at me. Do you think money can buy respect? You will always remain the same naive girl who abandoned her future. This time, I didn't flinch. I looked him in the eye and said, "You're right. I gave up your version of a future and built my own." The silence that followed was not embarrassing. She was charged. People began to walk, first slowly, then more confidently. Some shook my hand when I went out. Some hugged me, full of shame. Julia stormed out without a word. My mother couldn't even look at me, but Eisen remained grounded by my side as always. And that's where the real twist developed. When we turned around to deal, an elderly man was feeding from the corner. Gray hair, sharp suit, a look full of recognition. "Are you Sophie Grace?" he asked. I nodded cautiously. He reached out a hand. "William Kent, I'm on the board of Horizon. I didn't know you were the buyer." I slowly shook his hand. That was intentional. He leaned forward slightly. "I've been watching how you behaved tonight. Calm. Calculated with class. Would you consider joining our corporate advisory board? Horizon could use more leaders like you." Eisen gave me a puzzled look. My heart was racing, but I stayed calm. "Let's talk this week." When the door went out, my father screamed one last time. Bitterly broken, "You will regret this, Sophie. Family is everything. I only turned around once. Then maybe you should have treated yours like something worth keeping." We stepped out into the night air. The wind was cool, but I felt warm. Eisen took my hand. "It's okay." I nodded. Better than okay, but the storm was not over yet, because inside the house Julia was not ready yet. While everyone had been fixated on me, she had recorded. Secretly, and now she was editing a video with the title, "My sister is ruining our father's retirement party and splurging with her money." And she was about to click on upload. The next morning, my phone did not stop vibrating. Dozens of missed calls, hundreds of notifications. I clicked on one of the links that had been sent to me with a single message. "You have to see that." There it was, Julia's video. Already 394,000 views. The thumbnail showed my father in the middle of the scream. My face was so worked up that it looked smug, and the title in bold red letters. "My spoiled sister certifies our father's retirement celebration." You won't believe what she said. She had twisted everything, cut the tone, made it look as if I had robbed the dinner, cheated with my wealth, and humiliated our father out of a claim addiction. I looked at it, stunned. She not only attacked my character, she portrayed me as a bad guy, in front of millions of people. The comments poured in. "What a disgusting braggart. Typical wacky brat who pretends to have built everything herself. Your poor father." I was getting sick. Eisen was sitting next to me, fists clenched. "She instrumentalizes the public with suffering." People eat something like that without context. But I wasn't angry, not anymore. I was done defending myself in a whisper. So I called my media team. That's right, while my family thought I had a small side project, I had built an empire. I owned several brands, including a PRA agency. And within 2 hours, we had a plan. A simple post, a calm video response, no drama, just facts. I sat down, looked into the camera, and spoke directly to the world. "Hi, I'm Sophie Grace, the woman in this video. And I want to tell you what really happened." Then, I showed everything. The full speech from dinner, the envelope, the documents, the scholarships. Even a clip of how my father asked me to leave. I ended it with one sentence. I never wanted revenge. I just wanted to be respected, even in silence. But now, silence feels like betrayal. We uploaded it. Then we waited, and within 6 hours, it went viral. 3.4 million views. The comments turned like the page. "Wait, she's the one who's funding the scholarships. Her family is terrible. I would have left years ago. Sophie, you are amazing. Thank you for fighting back." Even major news sites picked it up. "Daughter buys father's company in silent power move, the ultimate counter. How a woman rewrote her legacy." But just as the praise was starting to build me up, I got a call. Suppressed number. I answered the phone and heard a cold, familiar voice. "I hope you enjoy your 15 minutes around. Because you just made enemies in very powerful places. Jump. It was my dad, and he wasn't done with me yet. 3 days later, received a court summons. My father had filed a lawsuit against me, accusing me of public reputational damage and the violation of his heritage and mental well-being. It was ridiculous, but dangerous, because behind the scenes my father still had powerful connections, old-fashioned businessmen, lawyers who owed him favors, and he was obviously ready to blow everything down just to make sure that I was paying the price for having eclipsed him. My media team panicked. Negative press can scare off investors, one said. That could hurt your brand, another warned. But Eisen, calm as always, said, "What if this is the last step, Sophie? The one who completely frees you?" So I made a decision. We not only fought the lawsuit, we fought it publicly. My legal team published a chronology of my father's pattern of control, manipulation, and emotional abuse. Old colleagues, former employees, even distant relatives came on board and shared their own horror stories. As it turned out, I wasn't the only one he wanted to silence. And then came the final blow. I posted a clip that I had never wanted to share. A video that Eisen had recorded at the dinner, not for social media, but only as a reminder of the evening. It clearly showed my father's speech, word for word, the insults, the mockery, the order to leave, and the audience laughing with him. The headline: "This is what a legacy looked like until I changed it. This shattered everything." Within hours, the lawsuit was dismissed. The court described them as baseless and vindictive. But more importantly, the world sided with me. The brand deals increased. Investors doubled their bets. I was invited to speak at 2 universities and a summit for female leaders, and my family. Julia deleted her video. My mom sent a cold 2-line email. "We didn't know. We're sorry." And my father, he never called again. But a week later, a letter arrived without a sender. Just a handwritten sentence. "I never expected you to win. I'm starting to think that you've always been stronger than me." I wasn't crying. I didn't smile. I just folded the letter, put it in a drawer, and closed it forever. Because the truth is, I didn't win to prove him wrong. I won because I stopped needing his recognition. I stopped running after the people who only loved me when I was quiet. And now I'm building louder, because some daughters are not born to obey. You were born to ascend.